8:03 a.m. Tuesday. You open the email. 3 short paragraphs, generated by an HR algorithm in 0.4 seconds. You have been optimized out of the system. 10 years of university. $80,000 in student debt. 5 years climbing the corporate ladder in the data division. 60-hour weeks. Chronic insomnia. 2 stress-induced ulcers. All render meaningless by a generative language model. The version 4.7 update deployed at midnight. It costs the corporation $1.20 per hour to run. You cost them $85 an hour. The math is absolute. Your heart rate spikes to 110 beats per minute. Cortisol floods your bloodstream. The sharp smell of roasted coffee fills the air. The rent for this concrete box is $3,400. Your severance package covers exactly 8 weeks of basic survival. After 112 days, you are statistically homeless. Your master's degree is now a piece of vintage wall decor. You have exactly $8,000 in liquid assets. The high-speed internet bill alone is $200 a month. You walk to the window. You look down at the grid. The neon sign for the new AI assistant cuts through the mist. Faster, smarter, flawless. The digital letters are 60 feet tall. They didn't even allocate a human manager to fire you. System access revoked. Digital footprint erased. You need oxygen. You need to step outside into the physical world. The smart elevator descends. 40 floors of complete silence. You were a senior predictive data analyst. You analyzed market trends. You predicted corporate failure points. You failed to predict the exact date of your own obsolescence. You step into the lobby. There is no security guard. He was replaced 3 years ago. You didn't care back then. The morning air hits your face. 52 degrees Fahrenheit. You walk to the corner. The coffee shop is a robotic pneumatic arm. Exact water temperature. Exact extraction time. 0 human error. You swipe your phone. $7.50 deducted. Look around. The streets are full of redundant units just like you. Men in $3,000 suits, staring at automated termination emails. The mass redundancy protocol executed simultaneously across 6 global time zones. You are 33 years old. Your body is physically healthy, but your entire cognitive hard drive is completely useless. The new algorithm can complete your entire week's workload in 7 milliseconds. It doesn't require sleep. It doesn't demand health insurance. It never complains about the toxic corporate culture or demands a raise. You are just meat. Expensive, inefficient, biological meat. Year 2026. The question echoes in your hollow skull. How did you end up in the recycle bin? 1993. You are born into a collapsing middle class. Your parents still believe in the post-war economic miracle. They feed you a highly processed formula of carbohydrates and the American dream. Study hard, your father says after a 50-hour shift at the logistics firm. Work with your head, not your hands. Be smart. You internalize this biological virus. It permanently rewrites your neural pathways. 1999. You are 6 years old. You get a perfect score in basic mathematics. The educational system rewards you with a dopamine spike. A piece of adhesive paper momentarily validates your physical existence. 2001. You are 8 years old. Your parents buy a Pentium 3 processor entirely on consumer credit. You learn basic HTML. The air smells strongly of hot dust and monitor ozone. The high-pitched screech of the dial-up connection is the sound of the new frontier. You think you are learning to control the machine. He's going to be a computer genius, she tells the neighbors. You are not controlling it. You are simply being conditioned for the digital assembly line. 2011. You are 18 years old. This is the exact coordinate of your point of no return. The loan officer smiles. His teeth are perfectly capped and artificially white. The air smells faintly of cheap instant coffee and hot printer toner. You are terrified. But the societal script dictates that you must sign $80,000. 6.8% annual percentage rate. You do not possess the cognitive framework to understand compound interest. You just legally sold the next 20 years of your biological labor output for a piece of paper that guarantees entry into the white-collar class. Approved. The corporate system successfully acquires a new biological battery. 2012. University. The high-pressure incubation chamber. You study predictive modeling, applied statistics, big data architecture. To maintain a 3.8 grade point average, you begin ingesting synthetic amphetamines, 30 milligrams of Adderall. Resting heart rate elevated to 85 beats per minute. Chronic sleep deprivation becomes your new biological baseline. You are taught how to extract maximum value from raw data. How to optimize systems. Look at them. 200 identical organic units in the lecture hall. Every single one of you mathematically believes you are unique and irreplaceable. You do not realize you are merely generating the training data for the algorithmic models. 2015. You are 22. You graduate with honors. A mid-tier data analytics firm sends an official offer letter. $65,000 starting base salary. Standard medical and dental coverage. You hang the synthetic lanyard around your neck like a military medal. You look up at the reflective glass monolith. You feel like a conqueror entering Rome. You don't realize you just enthusiastically walked into the technological slaughterhouse. Year 1. You write basic Python scripts to automate low-level data sorting tasks. Your code saves the corporation 400 billable man-hours per month. You feel like a god of operational efficiency. The manager grants you a 2% annual raise. It fails to match the rate of inflation. Work with your head, your father told you. But your head is just a temporary, highly flawed biological processor for their mainframe. You are diligently building the very digital architecture that is designed to replace you. Every single line of code you write is another nail in your professional coffin. You think your career runway is infinite. The arrogant illusion of youth. 2019. You are 26. Your biological hardware is already degrading. L4, L5 spinal disc compression. The physical result of sitting stationary for 60 hours a week. Your visual acuity drops significantly. You require thick prescription glasses just to read the data clusters. The machine doesn't suffer from chronic back pain. The machine doesn't experience cellular degradation. It sits in a climate-controlled room, quietly digesting and categorizing the entire internet. You thought the grueling 60-hour work weeks were the worst it could get. You were spectacularly wrong. Year 2020. You are 27 years old. Your physical world violently collapses into a 400-square-foot perimeter. The corporation mandates full remote access protocols for the entire analytics division. Your entire social and professional existence compresses into a 60 Hz video conference window. Caloric delivery is automated. $42 for a plastic container of rapidly cooling carbohydrates. You consume 2,500 kilocalories daily. Physical energy expenditure is absolute zero. The luxury apartment degrades into a closed-loop biological life support capsule. 20 milligrams of synthetic escitalopram administered daily. The artificial serotonin is mandatory to suppress panic attacks and maintain corporate key performance indicators. Let us calculate the basic operational budget of your physical body. Concrete rental, $3,400. Biological fuel, $1,200. Pharmacology, $450. The baseline monthly depreciation cost of your organism is exactly $5,050. The corporation pays this invoice only while you successfully generate surplus value. But the mathematics of operational efficiency are already turning against your biology. Year 2022. You are 29. The department implements an early iteration of a generative language model. Management tasks you with integrating the new API into the data sorting architecture. Your primary objective is to train the algorithm to parse non-standard financial reports. You naively believe you have acquired a flawless, tireless digital slave. The model executes your entire weekly quota of calculations in 4 hours and 12 minutes. You receive a corporate performance bonus, exactly $5,000. This is the price of betraying your own species. You sell the human monopoly on analysis. You utilize the free time to optimize macros. You write exhaustive, step-by-step documentation. How to bypass complex logic errors. How to correctly interpret biological anomalies in raw data. 10 years of specialized cognitive experience compressed into an 8-megabyte text file. The algorithm absorbs your experience completely. It operates with a 0% data loss rate. It does not require REM sleep. It does not ingest escitalopram. It does not demand raises. You watch the completion percentages tick upward and feel a surge of professional pride. You just manually tighten the digital noose around your own career. You successfully converted your professional intuition into machine weights. You are no longer a creator. You are now merely a temporary biological adapter between the API and the corporate database. Your unique systemic value plummets instantly. Structural runway, 730 days. The illusion of indispensability is the most lethal narcotic, and you are overdosing. Year 2023. You are 30 years old. The industry begins a silent purge. The corporation terminates all junior analysts. 40 biological units erased in a single Friday. Their functions are entirely outsourced to algorithm version 3.0. Net savings, $3 million. You survive solely because you know how to accurately format queries for the new machine. You rebrand yourself as an AI manager. It sounds modern. It provides the illusion of control. You spend 8 hours a day explaining the complex context of corporate databases to a neural network. You genuinely think you are holding the digital leash? That the beast obeys your syntax? Fatal system error. You are not the master. You are a temporary crutch for raw code. Cortisol levels remain critical. Escitalopram dosage is aggressively increased to 30 milligrams. You sleep exactly 4 hours a night. Your cardiovascular system operates at peak degradation limits. Year 2024. You are 31. Version 4.0 deploys. The operational context window expands by a factor of 100. The algorithm no longer requires your complex linguistic prompts. It analyzes raw spreadsheets autonomously. Your hyper-specialization as a digital translator depreciates to absolute zero overnight. The machine outputs flawless analytical results a fraction of a second before your fingers touch the keys. Speed. You require raw chemical speed just to simulate your continuing biological utility. 40 milligrams of amphetamines. Your central nervous system burns out like a cheap industrial fuse. You frantically invent new efficiency metrics. You generate fictitious reports detailing your operational necessity, but management monitors the live telemetry dashboard. Your actual contribution to the process? 4%. The market value of your profile gets cut in half. No one hires humans for these tasks anymore. Your structural runway incinerates. Inflation and medical bills devour your savings. 240 days. You're trying to physically outrun an electrical current. It is mathematically impossible. Year 2025. You are 32 years old. The system makes a paradoxical, highly calculated move. You are summoned to the 58th floor. The board of directors approves a new executive headcount. Director of AI Integration. Base salary, $250,000. A lucrative annual bonus and stock options portfolio. You are assigned a corner office. A $5,000 ergonomic chair constructed of genuine leather. The dopamine loop closes with a deafening snap. You genuinely believe you outsmarted the mechanism. You think your advanced macro scripting abilities successfully elevated you to the rank of untouchable elite. Let us calculate the absolute balance of your corporate triumph. Official income, $250,000. Insider options value, $150,000. Conscience balance, 0. Nervous system degradation, 85%. Your survival runway is artificially inflated to exactly 1,200 days. You purchase the fragile illusion of security for a very specific physiological and moral price. The corporation does not need a director. It needs a biological executioner with legal signing authority. The machine currently lacks the legal jurisdiction to terminate humans directly. A biological unit must authorize it.
Terminating.
Your sole executive function is to legitimize algorithmic decisions regarding personnel optimization and redundancy. You summon the exact people you worked alongside for 5 years into your pristine office. You stare directly into their eyes and monotonously recite machine-generated scripts about shifting operational vectors. You think you could act differently? No. Morality is a luxury commodity you can no longer afford. Zero empathy. Your pulse remains entirely flat. You have simply become an algorithm wearing an expensive suit. In 6 months, you successfully purged 2 entire floors. 120 biological units sent to scrap. Your bank account overflows with capital. But your physiology violently rejects the synthetic reality. Heavy beta blockers for the tachycardia. Synthetic zopiclone to manually force the REM sleep cycle. You earned your million. You currently sit at the absolute apex of the concrete food chain. You think that you hit the absolute ceiling and successfully manipulated the entire system. Year 2026. You forgot the foundational unyielding rule of survival mathematics. You are the final unoptimized expense in their perfect formula. And the mathematical reckoning has begun. Tuesday, 8:03 a.m. The digital noose finally snaps tight. Notice of complete functional replacement. Your highly lucrative executive contract is instantly voided. You attempt to log into the corporate mainframe from your home terminal. Absolute access denied. Clause 14.2. Legal provisions regarding fund retrieval upon systemic executive optimization. Your entire executive bonus and stock portfolio are completely frozen pending a comprehensive legal review. Your primary account is locked. Available liquid balance, $8,000. Bare minimum survival cash. Your golden parachute incinerates in the upper atmosphere of corporate greed. 112 days. You pace frantically. Your organism dumps liters of pure, useless adrenaline into a dark void. You drive to the office. You desperately believe it is a glitch, that they biologically need you. The palm scanner flashes angry red.
Unauthorized.
The system no longer recognizes your specific biological print. You no longer exist within the corporate digital registry. You are a ghost. The security drone's voice is perfectly polite and entirely dead. Your personal effects will be couriered. You step onto the street. The city continues to pulse. completely ignoring your deletion. The algorithmic advertisements mock you from every neon corner. AI assistant, flawless, better than you. You walk into a cheap dive bar. The sharp, nauseating smell of industrial disinfectant and stale beer. 33 years old. Your professional apex was just a freshly dug, highly profitable grave. You attempt to aggressively update your resume. You access the premium executive job portal. 0 active vacancies. This specific strategic role is no longer occupied by a carbon-based life form. You realize you are not simply unemployed. You are a relic of a rapidly extinct species. 1 month passes. You sit in absolute darkness. The electrical grid automatically cut you off for non-payment. Your supply of synthetic antidepressants runs dry. Severe chemical withdrawal protocols violently initiate within your brain. Freezing cold. Violent tremors. Your brain attacks you with flashes of uncontrollable, primitive terror. The final window to the outside world slowly dims. You lack the capital to charge the battery. You are informational garbage. A biological syntax error that the system has permanently and efficiently erased. 12 days until physical eviction from the concrete box. 12 days until absolute thermodynamic zero. You hear heavy footsteps outside your locked door. It is not a courier. Reality has come for your debts. Tuesday, 10 a.m. The countdown reaches the final digit. The lease is terminated. The smart lock permanently forgets your biometric data. You descend 40 floors. You leave behind 33 years of biological investment. You do not look at the cameras. They have already classified you as unauthorized. The city is a vast, interconnected circuit. You are the blown fuse. The cold is not an emotion. It is a thermodynamic reality. Your liquid assets have been reduced to 4 pieces of dirty paper. Runway exhausted. Total financial life support terminated. Status disconnected. You migrate to the edges, to the shadows beneath the smart city infrastructure. Your new biological habitat is made of damp stone and industrial waste. Above your head, billions of dollars in data scream through the glass fibers. You are close enough to touch the algorithm, but you are invisible to it. Look at the new batch. Fresh biological batteries for the mainframe. He still believes his university degree is a shield, just as you did. You want to warn him, but your voice is just background noise. A familiar smell hits your olfactory receptors. Hot dust, burnt ozone. 2001. Your father's Pentium 3. The scent of the promise. The smell of the digital frontier. The promise was a lie. The frontier was a slaughterhouse. Your core body temperature drops to 95 degrees Fahrenheit. Mild hypothermia. Your heart rate stabilizes at 42 beats per minute. Energy conservation mode. The machine has finished its meal. You are the indigestible carbon residue. You are not even a tragedy. You are a rounding error in a quarterly report. The screen flickers once and goes black. The final connection is severed. No funeral, no obituary, no digital footprint. The data flows on. The algorithm optimizes. The world remains perfect. Permanent status. Obsolete. Statistics of your biological cycle. Years spent in the system, 11. Total earn $1.2 million. Amount lost to debt, rent, and inflation, 99%. Human units optimized by your hand, 120. Chemical doses consumed to maintain productivity, 4,380. Current status, carbon-based waste. Economic utility, 0. Myths against reality. Myth 1. Artificial intelligence is just a tool. Reality. It is the new architect. You are the obsolete building material. Myth 2. Human empathy and soft skills will save you. Reality. Empathy has no return on investment. The algorithm doesn't feel. Myth 3. Education is an investment in your future. Reality. It is a predatory loan for a skill set that expires in 24 months. The machine doesn't hate you. It just found a cheaper alternative. You were not a player. You were the data point. If this story made you feel the cold glass of your screen, like the video. Subscribe and hit the bell. We tell the stories the cinema avoids. In the next video, a new truth. Write a profession in the comments. Your choice decides someone else's fate. See you soon.